got to keep it short.
Yeah, don't worry.
Got to keep it short, man.
I'm going to lay down some fucking rules as soon as we get in. No, I'm going to lay down some rules.
Okay. Right, we'll bring him in, but we can't let him go on for like how long he went on last time. It's ridiculous. The community will never tune in again. Let's get him in here.
Right. Do we do any introductions or not?
We're better have in case. I'm Paul Sloggett.
The Dirt or some shit like that. Get him in.
Click admit. Ladies and gentlemen, for your oral pleasure, Mr. Matthew Brind.
Oh, hi there. How are we doing?
Oh, shit. I was going to start with a hi as well, just so that it'd throw you off course.
I would have just said hello back. So, unflappable me.
as much as we like you being here as a guest, this time we've had to lay down some rules and regulations because...
Oh, yeah?
You let's be honest, you waffled last time. You filled up 3.5 hours of our time, and it was the longest episode ever. So what we're going to say today is we're here mainly to talk about ATBLive, where you came out reigning champion this year. Mm-hmm. That lasted for an hour. I don't want to be talking for 3 hours about an event that lasted an hour. It's only fair.
Do you not watch the F1? That's like
I watch you on Twitter. Remember?
I'm starting to sweat a little bit here. I don't know. Can I back out? Can we just roll it back a little bit? You get Emlyn in instead.
Yeah,
that'll do, right? We'll do our best.
It's not an episode of the Brim Brothers, you know.
Well,
this is true. Just sub people in and have episodes, with other people and palm it off under the dirt. Although
you sub in with Eamon all the time.
Yeah, Eamon was my stunt double, my better looking stunt double.
He can't grow a beard like you, though.
No,
I beg to differ. I'm watching this current season of You, and he is the main player in that, and he's got a hell of a beard on him there, does Eamon?
Right.
Look, we're already waffling.
Now we've waffled already. Do you have like a waffle horn or something? You can just buzz when the chatter's no longer interesting. Yeah.
But look, first and foremost, an absolute massive congratulations to you, dude, on winning the first ever sort of a game of ATBLive. Whether that happens again or not, who knows? In what guise it forms, who knows? But yeah, you and all of the riders went out there, put it all on the line for just over an hour's worth of everyone's pleasure, and it hit around the world, and is still picking up views here and there, and yeah. It was a fantastic night, and like I say, it was great to see you on a podium of some sort. But here we go. Yeah, here we go.
I'll have you know, I'm the seniors freestyle champion in the UK at the moment. So the amateurs under 35 champion.
Well, we really appreciate all five of you for turning up and doing that for us.
Yeah.
And we're pretty happy with the results, I think. And
no doubt.
I don't know about you lot.
Yeah.
And the backroom staff as well, who we have given a shout out before.
Yeah, all of those backroom staff, and a massive shout out to Tim in particular. Me and him brainstormed this a little while ago. Obviously, I've spoken to you about it long in the conception days, and you personally have been integral in getting that project off the ground, and giving it all of you riders giving it a level of credibility that me and Sloggs could never afford on our own.
Well, you did. You gave it a level of credibility yourselves by being great hosts and commentators. That's such a key part of it as well. So don't sell yourself short. Maybe the riding side, whatever. Like you don't necessarily keep up with the boys, but that's fine. You guys did a great job in your way.
I like running myself a bit. It just happens to be that I run Sloggs at the same time, and that's always fun.
But to be fair, anything he says, I'll take on the chin.
That's why you've got that cushioning, yeah?
Yeah.
Back to the beard. Nice.
Airbag.
A hairband, did you say? Nice.
Very well done.
Thank you.
Right. So, what were your thoughts about as we were going into the event on the day?
I was just pretty excited.
I was going to go back. I thought you were going back a little bit further before.
I'll go back. Do you want to go, Dan?
You know, well, because like I say, Matt was
20 years ago. I hadn't heard of mountain boarding, but we'll start there.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. 3 hours later.
The 5-hour extended cut, Lord of the Rings style, yeah.
But
director's cut.
we chatted about doing something and getting something live out there. Obviously, if you've watched Tim's episode, our last episode, you'll know that we are hoping to do a live broadcast from the championships this year, the UK champs, and obviously that has been the sort of the big goal at the moment, and has been from the outset. And ATBLive was our sort of test, if you will, our sanitary environment, that sanitary environment being the ATBShop warehouse.
What a way to phrase it.
Yeah. But
yeah.
But you know, you are one of the only people in the UK that has sort of some experience of live shows. You know, Tim has plenty of experience of producing live programming, but you're one of the only people that has, you know, real experience of choreographed shows that, you know, I mean, let me say this straight. ATBLive was not choreographed. There was no planning or anything like that. But no,
it was. Don't be ashamed to say that there was like an actual plan behind the scenes. There was a bit of scripting going on, and it was produced. Like, that's fine to say and admit. The problem was there was no practice. That's the difference. So it was choreographed. It's just it wasn't fine-tuned to the letter because of time constraints, frankly, right? So
yeah. I mean, I think you guys all had a plan on what you were all doing or what your attempted sets and tricks were to be. You know, obviously, we had no idea if anybody was going to land, who.
Yeah, so that's the part that's not choreographed, like you say, I guess. So the trick side of it is, yeah, that's what we're feeling in the moment. But there's also prep there too, because we all went in and it was mandated that we were all going to make sure we had a list of tricks that would be comfortable setting so that there wasn't much dead time of us going, what trick? And guess who told all the riders to put down a list of tricks? And guess which one rider had the longest and ahs and what trick should I do?
Yeah, you're allowed to, champ. You're allowed to.
Well, to be fair, I put the list on my phone, and my phone was being used for the internet to do the stream. One of the phones being used, so I didn't actually have my phone with me. Whereas you can see in the back of some of the shots, Emlyn's there, like scrolling through his phone looking for tricks, and I didn't have that. Next time, I'm taking my whiteboard, a second whiteboard.
And someone to hold it for you.
No, I just have it off screen, so it's got like the list, and I wipe them out as I'm doing them, or not feeling that one now, scrub that out. But we had a good practice session, of course, and the whole point of the practice was for us to warm up, dial in a few tricks, and also get a trick list together.
Did you?
Anyway,
were you keeping an eye on the other riders when you were warming up to see how they were feeling on that day?
Of course, we all were, and we were all joking about it too, and like having a laugh about it. So that was really cool. It was an interesting one coming into it. But do we want to dive into this now? I kind of segued us.
Yeah, no. I think
you
we'll just go with the natural flow,
Sweet. Go with the flow. Well, that's how you get a 3.5-hour episode, Dan. Yeah. But, that's off of me now. I don't have to feel guilty.
Oh, I will say this before we delve too far into, you know, things. That we do have some rider questions. We're not doing a 10 set, and we're not doing community questions. The other lads, all bar one, who deems himself above everyone else.
I think he's still fuming about the result, to be fair.
Well, yeah, you would be, wouldn't you? If you cleared up in everything else.
It was Oh, dear.
Like, I think he must still be upset about it now. Is all we can put.
Well, look, if he's upset,
the comp as well.
Yeah, well, I'll make him more upset then, because if I hadn't been lenient, I did some research earlier. If I hadn't been lenient on the channel gap, because I said a roast beef and I changed it to any grab. If I hadn't changed it to any grab, Eamon would have gone out immediately. That was the only trick he landed, was the channel gap, and I said, "Oh, I'll just do a grab instead of the roast beef." So the only trick he landed, apart from that, was his flip. So he would have been out within four goes.
Oh no! There's
But
a stat.
I let him get to 5 because I was lenient to everyone, wasn't I? Too friendly. But... Well, there you go, Eamon. Feel better, mate. Feel better. I'm sick of this Eamon Shaw hype train, and it is going away this summer. I'm telling you. He got round 1 at Ramp World. Fair enough. He got round 1 at Ramp World with that ridiculous transfer into the half pipe and just generally charging around. Now it's 1-1, baby. The game's back on.
I like this. I like to think that that I had a certain bit in G'ing you up with your reel there. In the sort of, you know, the lyrics that went alongside it with that there may be doubts about your abilities or something like that. Like I said, at the time, I had 0 doubts, and my money was on you from day dot. And I have to say, Eamon, if this is the Matt Brind that is going to be coming to the competitions this year, you're all going to be short out of luck again.
No, it's going to be better. I'm going to be better than I was at ATB. I'll tell you that much. Some of the stuff I did was just so sketch, wasn't it? Like, so much better in practice.
Sketch going
on. There was a lot of sketch. So don't worry, I'll be even better than that in the summer. And that's the end of my world title bid. Frankly, jinxed it right there. Yeah. Good. Got that out of the way. Precious.
Oh, great. So someone takes has a little bit of faith in you, and that's it. I am now to blame. Should it go wrong?
No. I blame myself for claiming that I was going to be better than I am now come the summer. It's all on me, that one. But just to sum up, Eamon, yeah, he's so fuming. He's stopped editing our Brind Brothers videos. That's why we had to get Emlyn in.
Well,
you can't handle it.
I've got to say, Emlyn, the production value has been phenomenal in these last couple of episodes. Loving them. Look, let's get back into
Brothers. That's not the Dirt Live.
Yeah. let's get back in.
To answer your question, practice session was awesome. We all had a really good time. I actually genuinely am considering hiring out ATBShop just so that we can have a session together, because that was the best session I've ever had at ATB. Like, just that 1 hour and then that half an hour we had to practice. It was so good seeing all the different lines that they were doing, but we were all watching each other. We're all commenting about it and all joking about it, and we're all like, do I hold this trick back and not try it in practice so we can sort of surprise them? Or like, so at one point I did the wall bonk. I was like, I'll hold off the wall bonk because no one's seen that, no one's doing that. Like, but I'll screw it, who cares, I'll do the wall bonk, and I'm gonna add the 180 for the show. And that sort of thing. But the thing that was surprising to me was the amount of ledge tricks that was going on in practice was through the roof, like you wouldn't believe. Like, so much ledge action, and then we come to the competition and it didn't get touched once.
It didn't.
Clearly everyone exhausted all their tricks, and everyone had seen that everyone else could do all of their tricks on the ledges, because we were just sessioning that like driveway section.
Yeah.
Boom, 50-50 the down, 50-50 top down, air to 50-50, 5-0 the down, 180 on, 180 off, hit the higher ledge. Like, I guess it all just got exhausted, and but it was funny. Yeah, it was a really cool atmosphere, I would say. Like, all that little bit, like little hushing, like little hey, what do you think about this trick over there? Do you think he's got that, or should I practice it or not? Like, oh yeah, no, I don't know about that. Yeah, hold on to that. And then at one point, James just goes, oh, I guess I should try one of my only quarter pipe tricks. And that's it's like, oh, James is doing a flip then. He laughs, he drops in, flips, comes out. So then Emlyn drops in, flips the quarter pipe, literally the next run, comes out. Eamon then drops in, flips the quarter pipe, and he's the next one in, comes out. Then it was my turn next. I went, no, I'm not doing that. So I just did like a disaster or something. And I should have done it. Because that's the one trick I fell on.
Yeah. It does bring us neatly on to our first rider's question here. And well, there's actually two questions in here, but one of those is neatly on here. And that one comes in from the wonderful Mr. Emlyn Bainbridge. And I'll get him up here and play him away.
Oh, we got a video.
Matt,
Nice.
Two quick ones. What was your favourite trick to do in the game of ATB, and what would you have done next if we were to have carried on? Cheers.
There you go.
Okay. My favourite trick. I've got a cheat sheet here.
Oh yeah.
I prepared.
Can we ever go on this one as well? Can we
Yeah.
answer this one as well?
Yeah. But I've got my favourite quote from the whole show there, and then every trick set in order down the other side, so I could have a little reference.
I'm doing my homework. I've got it playing in the background, so I can keep looking to the side.
Yeah, I was scrolling through it at like 7 o'clock just before we started recording. Like, okay, there's a trick. This was this. Oh no, they failed to set that. Okay. So my favourite quote was from Emlyn from the whole thing. Actually, and it's all about which direction you take in mountain boarding, and the direction I want to take is to the top. From Emlyn, that's fantastic.
Oh,
that was a really good one. My favorite trick, I think it was the first one. Maybe I don't know. It just felt really steezy. The Fakey Smith, the 270 out.
270 out.
Steezy. That was my favorite one, I think. Yeah.
What about you, Sloggs? What was your favourite trick there?
my favourite trick was James Wanklin's no comply down the stair set.
Yeah, that's a fair shout.
Oh,
He had no right.
It made me fucking really smile. I was chuffed to bits for him, and I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, I have to say I was really rooting for him on that. I think it was your set. Was it your back lip on the flat at the top?
Yes.
Me too. Yeah.
Yeah, like he is just one of those riders that they could have
just pulls it out.
He'd never done it before, but if he'd have had one more try, he probably would have locked it in.
Yeah.
I wasn't surprised that he made the podium.
Back somewhere now and locked it in.
Do you reckon? Up Ramp World.
He does. Yeah. Where did he hit a rail though for it? Maybe Ramp World. They've got that low bar, haven't they? It'd be good if he has. But I tell you what, I wasn't surprised to see James top 3. Not at all.
Yeah.
That's why he was there. That's why he's there.
Yeah.
You know, because he is. He is.
Yeah. That no comply. It's a lovely trick in general. But that was a fair stair set as well. It's just lovely.
Yeah.
Especially since that foot just went straight in. Same as the rest of you.
Yeah, I think that was probably like one of the hardest tricks that was set for one that that if you couldn't do it, it was probably one of the hardest ones. Especially with the condition of the foot back in the binding, like.
Yeah. But that's it, and you've
loads
got
more people could do it.
Navigate up onto the top, up that driveway. It's quite a steep driveway, and to get onto it, you're then at a funny angle as well. You know,
well, you're fairly straight, but it's the fact that you've got such a short deck. So you're up, and then you're already getting the foot out, and bam! Like it's like what 2-3 boards long max, that deck. So you get up there, and like I say, it's steep. So you got the transition over, and then suddenly you're there, and you got to do it. But yeah. Fair play to James. That was sick.
You're going to get that foot placement bang on.
Yeah. I got to say, Matt, I'm with you on the locked in trick, those Smith 270 out. Just it's a smart looking trick, and up there on the top of that big old quarter pipe, it was real nice to see.
It was a class way to start.
Everybody except for Eamon did a front side air, I think.
Yeah. But he got confused, bless him. Just before he dropped in, he's like shouted down to us, like the rest of us riders, like, I don't know what I'm doing. And we're like trying to frantically explain it to him as he gets the go thumb. He was coming in switch, and then he just 180 just before it. But it's funny. It was a great trick to start with, and I think I really liked it as well because it's something I just I completely didn't consider. But it's like obviously something that should have been considered. So I liked it, kind of like the left field but obvious part of it as well, you know?
I have to say, it was fortuitous. You riders were kind to us as a program by giving variation around that park. You know, you didn't. The first couple of sets were on that quarter, and then after that, Did we return to the quarter? Or it just
we did, but so it was like quarter, then it was the channel gap, then the handrail, then the stair set, then the stair set, then we went back to the handrail, but the other way.
Yeah.
Like, so it was starting to really mix up from there. Then there was a couple goes on the jump box, then wall riding and all over the place then. So
yeah,
it was good
the
variety.
bike was well used, certainly.
Yeah.
So if it had forced to another round there at the end, what would you reckon? And it had been your set, what would you have gone with?
I mean, if I wanted to win, I would have set a rodeo in the quarter pipe, and I would have said it earlier as well. But I wanted to do stuff that I felt like the others had a chance of trying and landing. And James would have tried. If James was in, he would have tried the rodeo. But I don't know if Emlyn would have tried the rodeo. And seeing it was me v Emlyn, I would have. I don't know. Let me see if I've still got my old notes. But I would have gone for something where I think Emlyn may not have landed it before, but he would try. So that's why I went for like the back lip, because the weekend before Emlyn had been learning them on the yellow tube at mine and Andy's place. So I was like, okay, bring it to somewhere else then. Yeah. The same with the frontside board slide on the down rail. I've done it on that rail before, and I know it's a really nice like intro rail for front boards down a down rail. So that's why I said that as well, because I was like, okay, it's a good way to push Emlyn on a little bit more, so he's not just doing it on flat rails sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's a shame he had that little ironic landing, really.
Yeah.
Another 50, 60 degrees on it, and it would have just rolled away. But
yeah, maybe I would have set backside disaster on the big quarter pipe, probably.
Nice.
Push him into that. Maybe because we were allowed to do lines at that point, so maybe I would have done like a 180 or like a 360 over the driveway, pump the wall, come back, switch 180 and then backside disaster, like just so it wasn't just one trick again, because we were in that
I mean
line
you say that there, that's an interesting part to bring up there, because that was an addition to not an addition to, but it was something we had to consider when putting the show together. Was we had a time constraint, or not a time constraint, but a target time of an hour long, and with your help there, we sort of figured out a way of having that 10-minute line opener to allow for extra chances. And as it happens, we didn't really need it to work in that manner of knocking people out, but it did make, I thought, for a quite an exciting last 10 minutes. It ramped up the excitement level there and made those last couple better viewing, basically. With the lesser riders, the lesser variation, it kept the momentum going as such.
Yeah, added another element, didn't it?
And,
it was nice. It was a good touch.
Interestingly enough, I'll put this out here now. Should we decide to do another game of ATB, I have had an offer of another skate park.
Oh.
Yeah. And if you know my location, then...
Are you talking MH?
I am indeed. Yeah. So
what's the internet like down there, though? That's the first question. I need this back so I can have these lovely notes I've got.
So you can bring your whiteboard. I believe it to be all right down there. Actually, I will double check that on another time. That would be that should have been the first thing we went to, shouldn't I? But yeah, I mean, something awesome. Of that scape, that size, as well, could bring a whole nother angle on it as such. We talked about the potential with zones in ATB warehouse, but fact of it is, given its size, we didn't really need to. We were able to cover most of that part quite well with the cameras that we had.
MH has got designated zones anyway.
Exactly. So you could have a bowl or a half pipe section. You got a jump line. Yeah. So anyway, that's food for thought. Another one potentially for the off season.
Yes, absolutely.
You heard it here first.
Nice. Yeah. Good.
But yeah, going back to ATBLive, I am going to bring in another rider question. And this one we talked briefly about James and his ability and how freaking good he is. Well, he's also, it would seem, pretty good at making children.
Yeah.
What's up? Question, Matt. If you were to choose round 2 of ATBLive, where would you choose?
Oh, look at that.
And obviously Mount Hawk is now off your list.
It is, but it's an easy one. It's the Brind Brothers compound. We've got like that. We've got it set up so we've got a bit of a modular like free jib section, and you can combine a couple of features in a row. So it makes sense because it's so quick to change the features out that you'd have the exact same run, so that it'd be really easy with the cameras.
Yeah.
And you just change the features in and out instead of changing the run and the line. So
yeah, and the cameras, cool. In fact. I like that.
Home turf too as well. Yeah, I mean, I definitely need the advantage. But the other thing as well, now we got the quarter pipe, we got the airbag, so you could do like an airbag one. So it's just wild big air tricks. Otherwise, you have a camera set up, so on the quarter pipe, and a couple set up on the jib zone. And then it's just quarter pipe tricks and jibbage, because we got like the wall ride, we got so many different types of tube and rail. Like we got a couple like double barrel ones as well for like nice easy 50-50 stuff. Got a tire, got a DS tube and stuff from Hart Hill. There's a rainbow rail there, stop go sign you can bonk to spin around. You know,
so when are we
road
doing
barriers.
Next week or the week after?
So there is a session going on my birthday weekend. So if you want to bring the cameras over down on the is it my birthday this Saturday? Yeah, the 8th. Then by all means, come and celebrate 32, son, with a live stream. Right, it'll be sick.
Is the 8th your actual birthday?
Yeah, it's the actual day.
That is Easter weekend, is it not?
Yeah, done well this year.
Yeah. I'm sorry. We've already had this discussion. I know I can't make it. I'm gutted.
It's so wet, and we're trying to do some more work at the compound. That's all I'm going on the waffle. But so I looked at the forecast, and it's another week full of rain. We had the driest February on record over here, so it's all coming now in March, of course.
Yeah.
But it'll dry up. Be all right.
Eventually.
Yeah.
Eventually. I'll be over at some point in summer to try and ride a bit Jolly Green again.
Yeah, that'll be good. Hopefully it won't be raining that time.
Rain then.
yeah. Last time you came, rain. Yeah. But is there another place outside of that answer? Because that's a little bit boring. I don't know. I feel like maybe Prevail down in Poole. That's kind of a small park. I don't know. I'm looking at it for two ways. One, ease of setup, and two, rideable features. I don't know if there's enough different stuff at Prevail though, to be fair. But
okay, so if we took ease of setup and took it to the next level of, we could put a production on anywhere at any skate park in the world even.
But I haven't been to that many abroad.
Well, that's it. I mean,
but I think Adrenaline Alley's got some potential. If you could have the street room and the scooter room right next to each other, it'd be well good and easy for us. But the fact that they're like really far apart makes it harder. So I guess that's out. Ramp 1, that has got some street stuff, but I don't know. ATBShop was pretty darn perfect for it because it was so tight and in together, but a good variety of features. I don't know. We'll make it work wherever we went, but
yeah, Sawdust looked like it was shaping up to be a nice little park.
Yeah, better than it used to be, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely better than what it used to be.
For mountain boarding, for skating, it used to look really good for skating, but not for our big wheels. I don't know. I can't think of another one, to be honest. If I think of one, I'll come back to you. But otherwise,
I think we sorted the next two venues out anyway.
Yeah.
Your compound and MH.
Well, the next 3, right? Because we got the Bugs as well. UK champs. Summer sorted.
While we're on it, I'm going to roll straight on to our last rider question because it is of a similar vein.
Cool.
And obviously, we've already discussed that Wasteman Eamon hasn't sent us in a video. He's probably off actually He's obviously off doing like earning some money, actually doing a real job or something like that. But I don't know.
Yeah, it's probably just slapping some dirt in a field.
Looking through IKEA catalogs, decking out his new pad. So our final question of this episode comes in from Adam, all the way up in Scotland.
Hey Matt, quick question. If you were to pick a different 4 international riders to play a game of ATB with, who would they be?
That's a great question.
You say if I had to choose international riders to play with?
Yeah, a different 4 to face up against, who would they be?
I guess so. I'm riding then. Yeah, that says I'm riding. Male straight away. That would be sweet.
Yeah.
He's got loads of fun, funky tricks up his sleeve. I think David would give it all a good go as well. He can muscle quite a few things out, so that'd be a cool one. I'm trying to not pick multiple people from the same place, like same country. Otherwise you'd have to obviously put Max Dejay in there as well, down at LA. Let's see, that's two more. You can't not have Brandon Good in there.
Yeah. Could you imagine? You'd all be doing insane.
If he can survive long enough,
bindings.
Yeah. If he can survive long enough, it's going to be the quirkiest game ever. I'm not sure what his rail game is like. That's the only problem. So if it was in a rail heavy venue, he might struggle. I think Dylan would bring an interesting eye to it as well.
Yeah.
So that would be 4. And if any others come up, I might swap somebody out as well. I mean, we've still got 3 hours left on this record, so
yeah.
I've got time
the
to
clock
think.
just never goes down. It's just constantly at 3 hours.
So there you go. There's 4 off the top of my head. So that was male from LA. It was David Jonsa from Poland, Brandon Good from the US, and Dylan Warren from Australia.
Nice. I like it how you've kept it current, because I thought for a moment that, well, I say current, El Presidente may still is obviously still riding here and there, but as you posted up recently, Cody Stewart in a skate park on a prime day.
Prime Cody is the best skate park rider. Why would I want to compete against him? Come on. He's 270 onto rails, back lip to fakie on a down rail, gets speed out of nowhere. I mean, there's a reason why he's so damn fast as well, right? It would be great to have Cody there too, don't get me wrong, but I thought it'd be good to give Brandon Goods a bit of airtime.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Cody would just rinse around all of us for sure. No questions asked. He'd be foot planting everywhere. Like that massive vert wall, Cody would probably do like a foot plant off of that ATBShop just to mess with us all. And then it's over. It's not even started, it's over.
Whilst he's in the headlines there, talking of headlines, I don't know whether I should say this. I noticed someone's response for going to the World Champs came up on my Facebook feed the other day in Mr. Nicky G, and he was one of the ones I thought might have made a good international rider to have had on in a skate park.
That's a good shout. Like I say.
But it's apparent, according to his Facebook, he's going to the Champs. So Nicky, if you're listening, I can't wait to see you again, brother. But yeah. Looking forward to this year. Well, that's the end of that statement. I'm looking forward to this year.
I don't know why you're surprised Nicky G's coming along. He always comes along.
Well, no, it's just I knew that he'd been injured and
you listen to the dirt too much. That's not the dirt. You listen to the roll situation too much. He's the first and only prolapse, right? So far, so you're thinking he's gone from the scene, but he bought a house and stuff, and it needed he bought like a doer-upper, you know?
Yeah.
So he's had a lot of work to do on that. But last year they did the Madness Fest again. Nicky and Arno heavily involved with that. They're doing that again this year, the very first weekend of July. So that's 2 weeks before the Worlds. So no surprise. And Nicky's got a World Freestyle title to defend. So you can't he might say he's injured. He might say he's not been riding much, but he's turning up and throwing at least 7 backside cork 7s everywhere. So he's going to come in and he's going to go hard. So he'll be there. And it'll be a good laugh.
Nice. Yeah. So Matt, now you are crowned ATBLive champion. There it is in action.
I'll pull it up closer for the peeps that are on the video. For those who aren't on video, I'm now walking behind me where I sit in the room to get the fantastic and unique trophy from ATBLive. Here we go.
Look at that.
Oh, it's meant to be. It's on the dirt already. And now I'm turning it because it rotates this trophy. It's a fantastic globe of glory that's mounted onto a mountain board hub, and it rotates. What a beauty.
Have you found yourself coming past and just brushing it as you go past?
Yeah, like most times when I go past, I give it a little twizzle. It's very satisfying.
Thank you very much, Zenamaid, for helping produce that trophy. It was a cracker. Jamie is a good friend of mine. I help him out with a lot of wood turning. He helped supply the UK champs over the last couple of years with medals as well. So thank you very much to him. Doubt very much he'll be listening, but it would be remiss not to say. So yeah, I think we can pretty much put a pin in ATBLive as such. I'm looking at the time now. We're sort of quarter of an hour away from our target here of 3 hours. But yeah, we did touched on the champs a little bit, certainly the world champs. And that is, well, for me, certainly it's the pinnacle of this summer's activities, isn't it, really? I'd hoped it would have been lovely to have got out to Australia. And obviously France the year before that was cancelled due to COVID. We've got a Triple Crown event for the Triple Crown dual event for the first time in 10 years.
First time ever there's been all 3 in 1 year.
In 1 year. Is that right?
Ever there's been all 3 in 1 year. Well, the World Bordercross didn't. There was one supposedly in the US, like their baseballs, the World Series, but only the US plays in it.
Yeah.
There was like that kind of World Bordercross, like early 2000s, late 1990s. So the World Bordercross like really officially kind of started. Anyway, this version of it started 2013. The last World Downhill was 2012.
Yeah. And
the last World Freestyle in the gap was 2012 as well. And then there was a gap until France brought it back in 2016 or 2017. So this is the first time all 3 are on in 1 year. And it's the first time, of course, that they're all part of the same event as well, across 2 different venues. So yeah, it's really exciting. Can't wait. It's going to be great. You had the questions though.
Yeah.
Expanding on what you said.
Well, I mean, we had we will be doing a World Champs preview episode.
Nice.
Of which I'd like it very much for you to take part in that, Matt. And but remember to give other people some airtime there.
I'll try, but it is my podcast and I like to talk. But I would love to be a part of that episode. It would be really fun. It'd be great. I've got all the stats as well.
As an early
you have to raise your hand, Sloggs, otherwise Dan doesn't listen.
Taking yourself out of the equation, because obviously, a good confident world champ is going to put all bets on himself.
Mm-hmm.
We've discussed Nicky G coming back there. Who are your early picks at the moment for who may be coming at the moment? Because obviously people are still unconfirmed. And
so let's go through all 3 in the order that they'll be decided. So Bordercross is going first. That'll have the finals first anyway. My top, are we going to go like top 1, top 2, top 3?
Yeah, go top two for each.
Andy and Cody, Bordercross. Andy and I had a battle there last year already. So he already knows how fast he is. And he already knows how much faster he has to be to try and win there if he's going to beat me. But if I'm taking me out of it, then Andy for sure. And Cody as well, because you just can't count him out, frankly.
Yeah.
For the freestyle, David is my top pick. And then that's a hard one to decide the second favourite there, because there's a few. Like if Nicky's gets a bit of riding in early in the summer, obviously he's a threat. If he's not done any riding, he's only done Madness, and then he's only done Madness a year later, then he won't be as dialed as he could be. And then that leaves space for people like Andy and Emlyn to sneak in. And the fact that it's 2 out of 5 runs count means that you don't have to have a big bag of tricks. You just have to have a few bangers. So with Andy having doubles and backside cork 10s done to dirt already, you know, imagine if he did a run with the double and a back cork 10 in it. I don't know if the jumps work for both of those in one run, but that's a ridiculous run to try and beat. But like I say, it gives you some like Emlyn shouts as well there. So
what about young Antoine? How's he looking?
He rides as well. He's steezy and he goes big, but it's been a while since I've seen him do big tricks, you know?
Yeah.
So like he'll have a cork 5, he'll have his back flips and front flips and his 3s, but we're going to need to see more than just front side spins for this. And he can do front 7s, and he's got tricks in the quarter pipe for days, but it's at the same time it's 2 runs and it's got to have variety. So he's definitely, don't get me wrong, it's a good shout too. Mark Adams maybe, because he can throw back cork 7s and front cork 7s. He's had a bit of switch in his past as well.
Is Mark coming this year?
I don't know.
Oh, I hope so.
I
someone say he was out of the country at the moment.
Yeah, he's doing a season in Whistler, Canada.
Yeah,
with his girlfriend.
He may not bother coming back.
Maybe not. Maybe not. But yeah, so David. I mean, it'd be rude not to say James as well. Let's be honest, being a dick. James has got a good chance because he's got a massive switch bag, to be fair. You know what? I would put David and James. There you go. After all that rambling, it's David and James, actually. With David and James, it's only 2. I won't say any more. Down to the downhill. Now, that's TJ is my favourite pick, even above myself at the moment, because I haven't done enough downhill recently. And I need to get out there and start getting some riding in on some big steep terrain. So TJ, and then it depends if Pete Tatham turns up. He's definitely got a chance. Bieran's in there as well for me. At the end of the day, it's just a big grass hill. So it's really wide open. Like, I hope it's not the kind of track where going as fast as you can until you tumble, get up, go as fast as you can, then tumble rewards you. I don't think it will. So if JC came out of the woodwork, he'd need to try a little harder. So I think it's tough. I don't know if Pete's coming. I think he will. So I'll put TJ and Pete, and then Bieran would be my outside bet.
Right, they're all locked in now. We'll be coming back to you a week after the champs, asking what you've done wrong.
Well, I would have won it all, so I wouldn't have done anything wrong. Right. You asked me without my name in it. If my name's in it, I'm putting myself second favourite for downhill behind TJ, but I put myself top for the others, just so we're clear. Everyone knows it anyway, but Alan will call me an asshole. Cocky bastard.
How can you?
You've got to be in it to win it.
That's it. And I think the community obviously knows that there's always a little hint of fun in it as well. So yeah, but we have the UK champs as well there to discuss. We have hoping to do a live broadcast there. I'm not going to ask you your picks or involvement for that just yet, because again, if you're in it to win it, you're going to pick yourself, aren't you?
Well, that's
I like it how Eamon hasn't featured in any of these picks. So he's
the border cross. It's the biggest. It's the race to turn 2 Compien, whereas normally it's a race to turn 1. Turn 1 is going to be on Eamon's toes, right. And it's a big wide corner, but to get through it fast is tricky. And being on the toes, it's not going to benefit him so much there. And the border cross of the UK champs, I lost the border cross in my head. You know what I mean? Like I was winning all the way. I didn't get a chance to see how the racing was going on the inside line, so I went defensive there, and then I just bogged down in like 2 inches of sand. Didn't know it was there, so then Eamon could sweep around the outside. Otherwise, I feel like I had it all sealed up. So that was kind of my mistake. Downhill, Andy won the downhill, the UK champs, and I came second by 0.04, and then Eamon was a couple of tenths back, so super close. But the world downhill is totally different to what we did for the downhill, the UK champs, and it's been a long time since we've done a downhill that could be considered anything similar to what the world downhill is going to be. And then the freestyle, it's quite different again. There's no jib zone to help out with a lot of points early on. It's just big jump riding, and Eamon goes big, but he doesn't go big with big tricks.
Yeah.
He'll admit that too. So I don't think it's mean to exclude him. Eamon would be definitely Eamon's probably top 5. If you ask me top 5 racing for border cross, I'd have Eamon in my top 5 for sure.
Yeah.
But he's a big about competing anyway, so we're not sure if he's actually going to compete either yet. But UK champs, I don't know if I'm including myself for that one, because with the live stream, there's going to be a lot more organizational stuff to be done. So we'll see closer to the time. There's a few factors. It might be that I step back, put my ATBA hat on first, and only do the downhill. But that also kind of depends on how well the worlds go. If the worlds go rubbish and I don't achieve close to what I'm hoping to, you best believe I'm sacking off the live stream and I'm going to win the UK champs. But if like, the ultimate dream has happened and I've done Triple Crown this summer at the Worlds, I'm not going to care much about, doing UK stuff. I've got 10 overall titles behind me for the UK, like over 30 individual stuff. So I'm happy to take a back seat and try to help make sure the live stream goes off without a hitch more at the UK champs. Like, don't get me wrong. If it was a live stream at the Worlds, I'd be sacking the live stream off immediately. It wouldn't even be a question, but you know what I mean? Like the UK's, it holds a different place for me. So for UK, if you want a top shouts, I'll give you a top shouts for UK champs. Happier to exclude myself this time.
Go on then, give us early UK champs then.
All right. Tom Rees, border cross.
Yeah.
Eamon, border cross. They're the top 2. Easy. James will be in the finals. But top 2, Tom Rees and Eamon. Then downhill, if we keep the track similar, I can't not put Andy in there, seeing as he won it last year. And then, boringly, I'll put Eamon in again. And then freestyle, that's a toughie. Assuming no international riders, because I think we had a lucky bumper year last year, but fingers crossed people come back again this year. I would say James and Emlyn.
Yeah.
Nah, James and Andy. Andy's getting better and better at the bigger stuff, like the bigger features. He's another one that's always gone big, but never had the big tricks. But now he's got the big tricks, and it's just melding it to that line at Bugs is quite scary because you hit the jump so fast. And I mean, he ended the competition with the double last year. So if he pulls it out earlier in the competition this year and can link it to something better than a front flip, then away he goes. But we're upgrading the compound for both of us to get better at big tricks to dirt. The landing is being built up as we speak. That's the job that's going through now. So
nice.
There you go.
Well,
Jolly and Eamon.
Progression is
Andy,
there.
Eamon, James, Andy. Yeah.
Happy
All
days.
across downhill freestyle. Overall, that's the other one. That's and for the Worlds. And the Worlds is an overall as well, of course. Overall for the UK champion, I would put James as the most consistent across the 3. Interestingly, I was thinking about this the other day, preparing for the live stream, because it is, as we mentioned earlier, it is produced, it is choreographed a bit. I was working on like the schedule, and I thought, for the freestyle, of course, we've got to mention like the overall and stuff like that, and have that as extra things for the commentators to talk about. So when I looked back, the last 4 iterations of the UK Championships has had different pro overall winners
Right.
for the first time in since at least 2009.
Nice.
So last year, 22 was Eamon. The year before that was James. The time before that, which was pre-COVID, was me. The time before that was Ben Wanklin.
Right.
And then before that, it was me again. So that's where the chain breaks down there.
Yeah.
So that is it going to be a 5th different overall winner in a row?
See, I gotta say, Matt, in a strange world, we laugh and joke about airtime and that. It's these sorts of stats that would be great in the commentating booth.
Yeah, right. This is why I've got to commentate the border cross instead of compete for the UK champs if I've done well at the Worlds.
That's it. Well, I tell you what, you take the seat, you take the hot seat for that, and one of us will just vacate the seat if nothing else, and just head down the finishing line and just leave you with the microphone, because I tell you what, we would not have a hope in hell in regurgitating these sorts of facts.
You are Stato. You really are.
I just love it. It's a sign of how much I'm dedicated to the sport, and it is my life, right?
It is beautiful. It's beautiful.
Your bedtime reading must be just sheets of A4, just results of the last 20 years.
No, it's already in here now. I don't need to read them over anymore.
You was correct about the blinder at the weekend as well.
I was, wasn't I? I nearly wasn't, though. I nearly said 04. I was saying 2003 or 4, but I went 3. But I need a co-commentator for sure, though, because 1 is way better with 2, as you guys proved. And 2, when the spreadsheet inevitably goes wrong, that's running the broad across, I need to run away and fix it. So somebody's got to fill the air. I can't be there going, I can't be stressing at Lee, who doesn't deserve the stress at all, but she's the only one there, and that I feel comfortable being frustrated with, just to vent some of the pain that I'm feeling. It's not her fault, but you've got to let the steam out somewhere, unfortunately. And Lee's awesome because she takes it like a true.
Right, I'm sure we'll hear all about it in a few weeks' time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm no Tim Jones. You won't be getting any, really happy and enthusiastic speeches before the event to build everybody up. You just get me swearing at you during the day that it's not working how it should. I can't be there hot fixing code with a hot mic as well. It would be fun. I do like commentating, I'm not gonna lie.
Look, I think I am gonna try and tie this up now.
Oh, hang on, I've got a question to ask him.
Oh, come on in.
You got no chance.
I've been meaning to ask him this.
Have it, Sloggs.
You've had your DW3 for what, 2 and a squidge weeks now?
Oh, yeah, good ones.
Yes.
I want to hear your thoughts on it, because you've had it for a couple of weeks. What do you think?
I've only ridden it at the ATBLive. That's the first time. That was when I got it, and that's the only time I've ridden it so far. Because I went snowboarding for a week. I don't know if you heard while we were there.
Well, yeah, that was your winning. That was your prize for winning the dirt. Was a free snowboarding holiday. How was it?
Yeah. The only problem was I had to get a flight at 9 a.m. the following morning, and it's a 3-hour drive home.
I'd say we'd invite you back on in 4 weeks' time and ask you about the DW3, but we're not gonna.
No, that'll be a 5-hour episode, but it's really good. It's really good. I don't think it's quite as stiff as the prototypes that Eamon and Emlyn had. So of course I rode Eamon and Emlyn's quite a bit for the weekend before the Dirt ATBLive event. Eamon and Emlyn came down. Eamon hurt his ankle, so I rode Eamon's board for the afternoon, which you would have seen in that Brind Brothers video. Pro Mountainboarder learns to ride again. You'll notice I changed from the collab at one point to the DW3.
Yeah.
A little switcheroo.
Yeah, a little switcheroo, and then rode it at the Dirt Live, and that's all I've had the chance to do so far. It's great. Love it. I feel like it's maybe I'm overhyping it, but I've been saying it feels like one of those kind of generational shifts.
Mm-hmm.
Where kind of I wasn't there for it back in the day when the Matrix came out, the first lightweight adjustable channel truck. That was kind of like a change and a step forwards for the boards. And like when the pro models started to come out, they were a bit of a change and a step forwards in the technology and stuff. And as much as it's only a deck and trucks that's actually changed, because the hubs, tires, and the bindings are still the same, I don't know. There's something about it. The board wants me to give it, like, it wants me to push it. I haven't found its limits yet. It intrigues me. It makes me want to push more. I don't know. Yeah. It brings me confidence. It feels fast. It feels poppy. It feels lightweight under feet. A couple of things I would probably change a little bit. I like the stance slightly wider, but I'm used to a collab, which is like the widest stance on the planet of any board. But overall, yeah, it's a really good board. Really good board. I'm interested to see now how Hero respond. That's what I'm excited for the next year.
Yeah, well, months. Indeed.
Well, yeah, they're all pushing each other again now, it seems.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of started with collab. Cody showed that you could make a deck on its own, high performance. And then Hero went from there to take it to a complete another level themselves with the tech. And they forced MBS's hand, it seems like to me. Mm-hmm. And MBS have now gone to the drawing board and gone, okay, we really need to catch back up again. And fair play. Well done. They did.
And for the riders, that's exactly what you want out there. You want competition for manufacturers to push each other.
Exactly. Interestingly, all the Matrix 3 trucks that went to MBS Europe sold out before they were even arrived. And I'm pretty sure all the completes just about sold out as the container was pulling up to the warehouse.
Right.
So
Comp 95s as well?
I don't think they sold out. But the hype is real. It's really nice to see. I mean, they got their standard order in at MBS Europe and sold out immediately, whereas I think the last batch of boards they had, there's still quite a few sitting there. So it shows the hype is there, and like putting the effort in to make new tech and new parts has really paid off. And having it out there for people to see well in advance and to try themselves well in advance of it landing as well, I think has really paid off. Like in the UK, certainly having Eamon and Emlyn charging around, and they're prolific with their posting and things. So they're great riders to have on your team.
You even got a glimpse of Dylan riding it in the Nationals, didn't you? Mm-hmm. So like, and he took the prototype right across Europe, really. Oh, and North America, didn't he? So
yeah,
the hype was there because people were seeing it in the flesh before anything.
Exactly.
And stealing it before it's even available for Emlyn.
Hey, it made it easy to get back though when it cropped up, right? There's literally two of them. One's over there.
All the mountain boards
One's
in
right
the
here.
entire country that person could have chosen to steal. He chose one. Yeah. That one.
That just shows what level of twat they are.
Apparently, Emily said it was sat in cash converters for a week or two before it was found on eBay.
Yeah, but the people don't know what a gem they missed out on, I guess.
How much was it up for? Was it up for like a pay?
It must have been 150 or something. That'll be why no one bought it for a laugh, right? It's got to be enough that people don't buy it for a laugh.
Yeah.
So
either way, glad it got back.
There we go. There's a bit of extra waffle for you. Took us up to what, hour and 10?
That's it.
Sweet.
Yeah, no, it's nice.
I can feel accomplished now that I didn't let you keep to the time schedule you wanted.
That's all right. I'm just good.
We were talking about drinking Guinness.
Yeah.
And that's being edited out.
True. Yeah. Won't be able to go about our Guinness drinking palavers.
Oh,
what a shame.
Oh,
maybe it'll come up in the future episode or something. You can't trust us, Dan.
No, we cannot. But I am going to put a pin in it. Sloggs, have you got any more questions for him?
No, I think I'm done. Just
cool.
Thank you very much.
Time for closing statements. Time for closing statements, sir.
I was just about to say, and we're not going to give him the opportunity to go on.
Yeah, I can see it in your eyes.
Closing statements, Matt. Come on, then.
Another thank you to you guys. I know I did the classic sportsman celebratory interview there, but genuinely, that was a sick event. I think the perfect venue, at least for it to kick off from as well. So thank you to ATBShop for having us. Of course, everyone in the background. Fantastic. More, please. That's my final thought is more. We want more.
Yeah.
We want to ride him more. We want to watch him more. I think I've watched it about 4 times already. We need another one now, so I can start binge watching that.
Well, I have to say that, I mean, it would be nice, wouldn't it? Look, if we cover the champs in the summer, wouldn't it be nice to maybe do another game of ATB next winter?
A winter series,
yeah,
2 or 3 over the
series, or 1 or 2 every winter, or something like that, or a couple of things. Hey, I'd like to do a rail jam. How cool would a live stream like an hour-long rail jam?
That'd be pretty sweet. I do have one request though to close it all out. Is if I'm riding in one of these again, please don't invite Bish.
I cannot.
That's my only request.
Look, Matt, I cannot guarantee. I'm sorry, Matt. I can't guarantee that because
I'm not nervous. It's not that I don't want to go against him like in a competition, because I'll totally do any tricky sets. I just want you to know that it's going to be in my future contract that I can't be seen in the same place as Bish. There's like a law thing. That's what it really is. It's not because he's got some intimidating attempts.
You could just take out a restraining order.
I didn't. He did. That's what it really is. That's what it is. So yeah, as long as there's no Mark Bishop doing these crazy like 50-50 back one to switch 50-50 things, I'm keen.
Like I say, I mean that element, to be able to bring that wild card element would be an absolutely great shout, but we would run the risk of potentially having to cut the live stream due to a massive injury.
No, for somebody else, yeah. For someone else, yes. But for Bish, no. Like, do you see his stack down those stairs in that video the other day?
He slid about 20 foot.
That'd be me out for 2 months. Like, and then he carries on the video and tries to backflip off a cheese wedge. I mean, for goodness sake, man. In the best possible way. I feel like you need to change the format a little bit. So instead of it being like ATB, you get like a point for every trick you land that's set, and then he would thrive because it wouldn't have to necessarily land his set trick so much.
Yeah.
Because I know what Mark would do. He'd go, okay, it's competition time. I'm going to set the gnarliest, craziest thing, and he'd be gutted that he didn't quite land it or something. So I reckon. Although saying that, yeah, I think he'd give everything a try though. So he's got at least a 50-50 chance of not taking a letter on every single trick, at least, because he's in it.
That's it. The puncher's chance, as they say.
I'll tell you what, no, yeah, I will not be in it. I'm going to be at the sidelines commentating the Bish ATB one.
Just watch all the others deal with the car.
Yeah. I think there's somebody else better placed out there to take it to Bish than me. His name's Jeff Bond.
Whoa.
They've got a bit of this, haven't they? They've got a bit of this.
Perfect. Right, gentlemen.
No, that was only 3 extra minutes. We need to go further. Come on. Right, so I was ready. I haven't even finished my Vimto yet. That's how much I haven't talked.
Because this was an episode dedicated to ATBLive, I think we need to have a shout out to everyone who helped out, who's not on this podcast at the moment. Now, I've got a list of names. I'm hoping I haven't missed anyone, so I'm relying on you two to, at the end, add any names I've forgotten. And if I have, I really apologise. So we got Stuart Dive in the ATBShop. Thank you very much. We got Tim, Chris, and their friend Craig.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We've got Ayla, Lee, Claire, Ash Mulholland.
Thank you very much.
Big shouts.
Big
shouts.
Yeah,
big shout out.
And then we've got the riders.
Jack Johnstone.
Oh, Jack Johnson, thank you very much. I've literally just written them all down then while you were gassing, because you were really boring, Matt.
That's
so we
fair
got
enough.
Jack Johnson, we're doing twice. Thank you, Jack. We really appreciate it. And you're going to be instrumental in the Nationals. So then we've got the riders. We've got Matt, Eamon, Emlyn, James, and Adam. Thank you all so much. We really, really appreciate it. We certainly couldn't have done it without you.
there were two others there that were just.
And Sam's just been shouted up from downstairs from Claire for me.
Those
And
were the
the trophy
two that I
maker.
was just about to mention.
Well, have we got them all?
Trophy maker. That's the other one.
Maker,
Another
Jamie.
shout.
Jamie. Perfect.
So there's a lot of people involved in it, and only one person took the trophy home.
Yeah, it would have been nice.
Maybe you should share it around. Let everyone have a go on it.
Well, I let Lee touch my big ball.
It is one big
game.
ball.
Yeah, just one. I don't have two, just one. She has a little go on it here and there. Sloggs, if you want to have a go on my ball, I'll let you have a go on my ball. I'll just remind me to bring it out with me next time I see you.
I'd like to oil your ball.
Oh, yeah?
I feel like you should give it an oil every 3 months or so.
That's actually very solid sound advice.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I slathered your ball in oil.
Would you use? I'd use a linseed oil, but I'm an amateur. What would you have said, Dan?
I use a hemp oil.
Oh, interesting.
Nice.
Yeah.
Matt, would you oil a Ulay?
Gentlemen, this has been the Dirt. Good night. See you all later.
Peace.
See you later, man. Cheers, Matt.
Way aye, man. That was dead canny as out, that like. Cheers for tuning out to listen. Now, before you gan yem, don't forget, if you want to keep getting doing with the Dirty Dirt fun, like and subscribe. Get amongst it. Shy Ben's getting out.